I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we are live. Okay. Welcome everyone to the 17th episode of the SCT North America podcast. Today we have someone special from the 2004 batch, Sujith Joseph from Information Technology. So, let's just introduce ourselves first and then we can introduce Sujith. So, my name is Atul John. I'm from 2012 Electronics and Communications batch. I did my master's at UCF Orlando in computer engineering, and currently I'm working as a software engineer in Cisco. Others can get started.
Yeah, my name is Hari. ഞാൻ 2008-2012 ബാച്ച് അതിലൊപ്പം ഞാൻ US-ലെ L1 H1B വിസയിൽ വന്നു. I'm working for Amazon. I'm an engineering manager at Amazon.
Thanks.
Great.
Tariq, you
Hi,
can.
this is Tariq, 2008-12 mechanical. Did MBA from India, IIM Bangalore, and then came here working with Deloitte in mergers and acquisitions, came on site on H1, and currently in San Francisco.
Right.
And
Myself, Prem Kumar. I've done I'm a 28 to 12 alumni from SCT Mechanical Engineering. Then I did my master's from Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee, in 2014-2016. I came to work for 2 years in Bangalore. I came to Canada, Toronto, Canada. Currently working as ERP project associate in Commissioners Great Lakes.
thanks, everyone. So I think let's get to Sujith. If you can give a quick introduction.
Sure. Yeah. So in 2004 passed on IT batch. I was in CS before and decided to switch to IT. And then I got into the campus. I think it was, I forgot the institute. There was an institute in Cochin which was providing campus placements.
Mhm.
Pangane Wipro, and then worked there for 2 years, and actually no, not probably around 4 years. And Wipro, I was working as a consultant in multiple companies, GSK, Carbis, and then there was another one. Just then I came over to Cisco in 2007. I'm gonna H1 on site to another, and then I switched to multiple vendors and became a full-time employee. I think in 2012, all the while working with Cisco. And now I work. I work in the enterprise search domain in Cisco. I'm the chief architect and the principal architect for enterprise search at Cisco. So what we do is we provide search services to any teams across Cisco, and covers a lot of internal as well as external search sites, including Cisco.com search, and 50+ applications. This entire platform. Traditionally, we used to use vendor products to do this, and then recently, past 2 years, we decided to
In-house
build
everything.
build a solution, assemble a solution using open source and AI and Google Cloud. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
Yeah, so I think you've been at Cisco for over 15 years now, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Hari, I
Pretty
think.
long, right? Yeah, നിനക്കൊരു interesting keyword കേട്ടു. അതായത് you said you were IT, right?
Yeah.
SCT IT ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന കാര്യം എനിക്ക് അറിയില്ലായിരുന്നു. ഞങ്ങളുടെ ബാച്ചിൽ IT ഇല്ല. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു സ്ട്രീം ഇല്ല ഇപ്പൊ.
ഞാൻ പിന്നീട് അറിഞ്ഞ IT was taken out, but yeah. The good thing I think with IT was it was കൂടുതൽ modern technologies focus on, for example, Java, and there was, I think, a course on internet technology in general. I think it had an overlap of 80% with CS, but good focus on newer technologies then.
Yeah.
So,
And another thing I noted was fully like for campus placement, there used to be a institute in Kochi, like in security government. There used to be a central, I think it was a website where you go and register yourself, and then they used to run campus drives.
Yeah, I forgot the name.
Uh,
It started with S. I don't remember the
Yeah,
full
yeah,
name.
yeah.
Started with S. Like ഒരു 2005 2006 വരെയൊക്കെ അതായിരുന്നു prominent ആയിട്ട് ഓടിക്കൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്. Like
Yes,
every
yes.
campus didn't have individual placements.
Also, we didn't have this
SCT
culture of.
I think it was just TCS
Yeah.
Mhm.
who were done to into the campus. This was soon after the recession, 2000 recession. So campus placement was not in the full fledged.
Mhm.
Pooled off campus ഭയങ്കരമായിട്ട് ഇവർ ചെയ്യാറുണ്ടായിരുന്നു.
Yeah, yeah.
So one question I had was, upon Cisco, you started off a service company, and then you made that transition to full time. So how was that journey? Like how you moved from service company and you moved full time as Cisco. So how was that? Did you do anything to make it easier or something like that?
Yeah, so I got hired into Cisco engineering. So there was a position, I think, I think into the early 2012, there was a position open, and then I applied for it in engineering. And then at that time, I had like essentially two offers, one from the current group that I was in and the engineering group, and decided to stick with the current role. So
Mhm.
I didn't have to do anything specific. It was for a similar role. So it's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
One of the, if I look back, one of the things that helped me the most was right from get go in the Wipro days. Um, I was in the search domains. Wipro had a small practice um, for enterprise search,
Mhm.
catering to all the needs of enterprise search clients across the globe. It was a small team, but then pretty much a large chunk of that team is now at Cisco.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah. So
So
yeah, so the good thing is we're fortunate enough to work on this domain.
mhm.
Um, and then I slowly expanded that to the cloud and containers initially, and then cloud and Kubernetes, and then AI as well. So the core domain being search, the way to solve or the challenges that you see in search, like just like how you see advancements in Google,
Mhm.
we have to keep um, challenging ourselves to be better, and that needs a lot of from speed, and you need bring in cloud and modern architecture.
Right.
In terms of relevancy, you need bring in AI. So it's a mix of technologies at play.
Have you ever thought
so
of?
you said
How do you work?
you said cloud, right? So is it in-house cloud or you
No,
use Google or?
GCP. So I'm a GCP professional architect as well. So um, GCP was the good choice that we made. We pretty much picked up all the components, all managed services of GCP, and connected them together, and then we use GKE as open source, so for a Kubernetes stack. We also have an internal private cloud that we use within Cisco, but eventually even that moved to the cloud.
Yeah, I think Hari works at AWS, so he's not happy that you're using GCP.
He was trying to get like an AWS flavor out of it, but he couldn't.
ഞാൻ മൺഡേ തൊട്ട് ഒഫീഷ്യലി റിപ്ലേസ് അല്ല അതുകൊണ്ട് ഇനി കുഴപ്പമില്ല.
Prem, if you want to get started, you can ask something.
Yeah, so how was your experience first coming to the US, and was there any culture shock or something that you experienced that you might want to share?
I was in UK for I think around probably 2-3 months. So initially, right, back in 2006 and 2007, I think in 2006 itself. So yeah, that was pretty interesting, and I'm grateful for all the trainings that Wipro did. They used all the etiquettes and from dining etiquettes to the differences in how things are done, how to say things. Wipro did a very good job in training all the folks who went to on-site during those days. Um, so that helped a lot. And as to the culture shock, yeah, obviously there was a difference, right? It was more than a culture shock. It was an excitement, I guess. First time going outside
Right.
the country is definitely an excitement. You're curious about anything that is new. As a wow factor, yeah. American on that, I thought I mean, I first landed in Seattle. For some reason, I loved uh, London more than Seattle.
For many reasons, I think.
Many reasons.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
For many,
For all the reasons you can think of.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can feel it. Yeah, Seattle, another.
Oh, yeah.
Harry is in Seattle.
But I guess I was there for the best part. Like the summer in Seattle was much better than what you see in Bay Area. Yeah. I mean, the mountains, they're beautiful, right? And, especially Seattle, not the Shasta, what is it called? That the peak mountain,
Rainier.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
And the first time seeing a glacier, I think Nisqually Glacier is amazing.
So I had a question. So
Yeah.
right now you are a principal engineer at Cisco. So in terms of engineering track, that's like the highest kind of you can reach. So on your journey here, what are some leadership qualities that you feel that you had that helped you reach where you are right now, or any other things that you felt helped you to reach where you are right now?
Yeah. So the focus has not been leadership. So my role is primarily, leading the technical aspects of it, and then I don't like there are no team members reporting to me, right? So my advice would be to focus on the work and get an expertise on, be the go-to person for a particular um, domain, right?
Right.
Find a niche domain that you are passionate about, and then focus all your attention in gaining expertise.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of things that I used to do to gain expertise. For example, I used to attend, not recently, but I used to attend a lot of meetups in the search domain, the cloud, and AI domains across the Bay Area. And I've hosted lots of meetups at Cisco um, before pre-COVID. Uh, the advantage is that you're bringing in folks who's got similar interests. You're meeting a lot of people who's got similar interests. You're learning from them. Then you get ideas and you hear different ways to do things. Here's how Google does it. Here's how folks from other companies, Yahoo, did things. They present different use cases and the tech stack they use to solve the problem. And what I've seen is people do share a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then you talk to people, and you could see a lot of similarities between problems across these companies. And then there's tons of material in YouTube. The meetups are there across the globe, right? And we're passionate to learn new things and always be curious about new things that are happening to solve the same problem,
Mm-hmm.
or other people to solve it. You could try and apply it in your domain. Maybe if it's an AI model, maybe it required fine tuning the models on your own content, and
Mm-hmm.
and you can see amazing results that comes out of it.
So basically, you're
Yep.
saying like if you're working in your own company and you're not exposed to other companies, you might be missing out on some good technology stack or something like that, right?
Not necessarily, right? Almost every information in other companies are published. The good ones are published in blogs,
Mm-hmm.
technology articles written by people. So with a company you're working on, you don't miss anything that is happening others. Like maybe Apple companies like Apple are pretty secretive about the work they do, but there are a lot of things that are public out there,
Mm-hmm.
and there are a lot of of course you can learn from books as well. So there are tons of avenues to learn. If you want to learn, there are tons of avenues to learn.
Right.
So
Yeah.
my recommendation would be to focus on the learning. If you're in a tech field, it is a continuous learning, and um, the rest, all the position, etc., follows through. So
Cool.
don't focus on the position. Focus on being an expert in what you do.
Right.
Okay, I have
Speaking of,
a follow
go ahead.
up.
Go ahead,
No,
Hari.
because meetups ne കുറിച്ച് പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ. Like I'm also always interested to meet up with other companies or like technical. But how do you find these meetups? Is it organized by the company or
Meetup
do
dot
you find
meetup.com, right? So
meetup.com?
you can search for certain technology names, and there are a lot of meetups, and you join them, and most of them are now online, so you don't even have to go
Okay, like
What
a
we used to
webinar.
do is we used to hold, as part of the meetup, there used to be like snacks and food as part of it. Finding speakers, yeah, if you plan early, it's not a big challenge. But yeah, there's a lot of planning that goes into it, and you need a lot of volunteers to
Mhm.
help out.
Are these free or are these paid?
Everything's free. Meetup's free, absolutely free.
Tariq, I think you wanted to ask something.
Just taking a slight segue, right? Like you were in the US on site in 2006, which was one of like buzzing times of tech, and then things went downturn, like one of the worst economic recessions, 7 and 8. You survived through that, and then still back in the US in a permanent and a very good role. So how do you like? What are your learnings from that journey, like going through an economic downturn, or in a different like things change, right? At least in perspective.
Yeah, I think one more,
There have
just
been cut, and in the perspective, there have been cuts in the team during the time, if I remember. And there was a hiring freeze. The hiring opened up around 2011,
Mhm.
at least within Cisco, if I remember, at least in our groups. So yeah, so that was the only impact I could think of. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I think when you started your college, it was the dot-com crash. And then
yeah,
when you were in the US, you had the financial crash. And then recently, you have the pandemic shutdown also. So,
yeah. I'm pretty sure there's more to come.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I think it's very related question. What similar to what Atul asked. So you are a principal engineer, right? That's one of the top tier technical role in Cisco or across other companies. So how do you maintain in that role? Like what do you do or in a day to day basis?
Oh, my job. That's it. Just kidding. So yeah, it's I am pretty hands-on. So the work that I do spans from doing, say, configuration in Elastic, writing Spark and Scala programs, um, doing proof of concepts in AI, and microservices for AI. A lot of cloud configurations, whether it's Kubernetes, end-to-end, right? And entire Google cloud configuration, whether it's, and then Istio. I do a lot of Istio configurations. What else? And there's a lot of architecting including you have a business problem. How do you find the best solution for it? That aspect almost comes up now and then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in short, you are still a hands-on guy. You still
Oh,
write code.
yeah, yeah. That's my bread and butter, right? The moment you are not, in my mind, you lose out of touch of things. It doesn't matter the role that you are. You have to be hands-on.
Yeah, I know.
But
Yes,
how do
right.
you
You become outdated within a year or two.
Now, how do you like stay as as an individual contributor so long? Like people usually like after a while they tend to get like they tend to want like a team who they can divert things to or think. But how do you stay focused as an IC for so long?
I think it's boils down to personal preference. It's yeah, I always wanted to be an IC. Hopefully, continue to be an IC. In Funda or Parathle, Kodiyama, there's a lot of satisfaction. Even if you talk to others who who've been developers and moved into manager role, they still miss the satisfaction that you get when you build things and make things work.
I think the thing
അത്
is
ഒരു
like,
വേറൊരു റോളിലും കിട്ടത്തില്ല, right? You won't get that.
yeah,
Um,
with programming, it's very binary, right? Like you write code, it'll work, but with people, it might not be the same. You might
Yeah.
try the same thing with one person, it works, and on the other person, it doesn't work. So
you got to
maybe,
have a lot of empathy.
right,
If you
yeah,
want to be a good manager, it takes a lot of effort, a lot of empathy. Um,
Yeah.
And it's easier to increase your effort to fasten the programming, but it's difficult to make somebody else's effort faster to finish it fast.
right.
Yeah, I'm actually going right through that phase, and I'm a relatively pretty new manager. It's only been 6 months. I was an IC, but just like what Tarek said, or you said, like it's empathy, talking to other people, like hearing their thoughts, problems, and it's different.
Ultimately, boils down to what satisfies you in the job.
Yeah.
Right.
If you
So,
love leading people, that's it's good enough.
so I had one question. Like when I joined Cisco, I was assigned a mentor. So, have you ever had mentors during your journey here, and has that been helpful for you?
Oh, big time. Yeah, you need definitely. You got to mentor people, and you will need to find mentors who would guide you through the process. Definitely.
So right now
Yeah,
you might be mentoring other people. So
both.
typically,
I
yeah.
do both.
Okay,
Yeah,
you okay.
yeah.
So when you mentor someone, like what advice do you give? Like for example, a fresher joins your team, or someone with a few years of experience joins your team. Like how do you approach that, and how do you help them build their career?
Yeah, being a technology guy, I always used to encourage them to learn what is trending. Right now, if you ask me, I think there are a couple of areas that I would recommend folks who are coming out from the college to focus on. One would be Web3, metaverse
Right.
technologies, AI. Um, I'm hoping Python and AI. It's pretty much needs to be part of the college curriculum
Correct.
these days.
Yeah. Harry, do you know if computer science has Python courses, or I think it's still C++, right?
I think it's still C++ or Java. I don't think Python is in the syllabus yet.
Right. Yeah.
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 But I think it will. Yeah, I think Python ആണ് ഇപ്പൊ എല്ലാ AI frameworks all എല്ലാ supporting എല്ലാം Python ആണ്.
I
Yeah.
mean, it might start as electives, then a core course, and slowly maybe creep into the core courses. But electives start ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടാവും മിക്കവാറും.
Right.
Yeah, maybe I'm outdated in that area. So
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
in the US, one good thing is you have these boot camps for like front end, back end development and all, and that's pretty good. I've heard like 6 months under you get a crash course on full stack development, and they help you with placing you into a company also. It's like their advertisement itself is you get placed or you don't pay us money. So അങ്ങനത്തെ കുറേ opportunities ഉണ്ട്. That's good in the US.
yeah, but
Py-
if you have the right drive, you can learn all of this yourself. It's just boot camp, what they do is they force you to do all this exercises like homework. Like you have to do the assignment, they force you to do it. But if you have the same drive, you can pretty much do the same thing without paying them any money. So
Right.
even folks who are, um, I didn't have those kind of drives when I was studying college. Um, yeah, but looking back, I would highly encourage anyone who is doing any course as CS or IT
Mhm.
to do this outside of the course because it doesn't matter what they like. It should go beyond what they learn in college.
Right.
Learning AI and Web3 technologies and stuff like that. If they want to be successful, be better prepared. Like I personally think in a 10, 15 years or 20 years from now, um, I'm not sure of how much would be the impact on the role of college. Companies would say, as long as you have the skill set, it's good enough for me.
Yeah, I think Elon Musk got rid of the requirement to have like a college degree to join Tesla. So
oh really?
yeah, you don't need a college degree per se to join Tesla.
That I would see that being more common in the next 5 to 10 years.
Hmm.
College is very expensive, but then if you can get the same skill set by learning from other avenues, I think it's good enough.
Yeah, like Coursera, Udemy, LinkedIn Learning.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's so
So
many.
when I used to take this is something I will highly recommend. There's a CKA and CKAD. If you are in the Kubernetes domain, I would highly encourage you guys to take it. CKA stands for CNCF Certified Kubernetes Administrator, and CKAD stands for the CK Application Developer. So and there is a good course by Mumshad Manabat in Udemy, and with Cisco, you get free access to Udemy. Most of the companies would have free access to Udemy and other
Right.
sites. So what they have good course, and that's a very good course that focuses on the core concepts as well as advanced concepts, including exercises. If you do that course and do that practice test, passing the CK and CKD is pretty much easy.
Hmm.
So if
People
you are in the Kubernetes domain, I would highly recommend that you take it.
So students,
As an experienced professional, sorry, as an experienced professional, do you recommend learning online course and directly applying to interviews, or learning courses and going to meetups and then attending interviews? Which one do you recommend?
If you're looking for career opportunities outside, um, a lot of books, right? There are like, for system design interviews as well as coding interviews. And after that, you probably would need to go through probably around 10, 15 plus interviews to figure out a sense of what kind of question gets asked.
Right, yeah.
And then after the, you'll know, um, and then you know what needs to be done, and then you'll be able to better do it. There's a recent book, I think, I forgot the name. Um, yeah, I forgot. So yeah, System Design Interview by Alex. Yeah, that's a very good book. Even if it is not in for an interview, how do things work, and what are the typical problems and how do they get solved? It gives you a good idea.
I think you're talking about like they take case studies of Twitter or Instagram, and
Exactly.
on a high level they build out the
How do you
whole
design?
system.
Right.
How do you
So
design
a
that?
lot
Yeah.
of cases, what happens is even if your core domain is not, say, doing design development, and you might be in, say in operations, but even you will nevertheless get asked questions about how do you design XYZ, how do you design Instagram, for example, right? Typical common question. This book would help you to answer those questions. It also gives you an idea on what's the best way to solve certain things.
Mhm.
How does YouTube work and things like that.
Yeah, just to add to that, there's this online course called Grokking the System Design Interview. I think it's by interview.io. I've done that course. It's pretty good. They, like in their first year, they have about 15 to 20 case studies. They go through everything: YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, everything. And so they talk
Is
about
it free?
it's not free. It's $65, I think, for the course. But that's,
That's a very good
yeah,
one.
but it's very good. Yeah, it's very good.
Okay. Regarding the system design, I mean, no matter you're IC or a manager, you have to still learn system design. I mean,
Right.
if you manager interview I think out of all behavioral rounds, isn't all system design analysis. They want to test your system design skills,
Hmm.
even as a technical. I'm talking about technical managers. There are other people managers that might be different, but technical managers need system design.
Right. Tariq, do you want to ask something?
I think too much of job and technology has been discussed. Maybe we could get to know the other side of Sujit, the photography,
Sure. And I used
because I think even in all of your technical references, people have always praised your photography too
oh, okay.
in LinkedIn.
Okay. So yeah, I used to do a lot. I still do, but I have three kids, and pretty much take their pictures and the family. But I used to do a bit of event photography,
Okay.
auditorium events and things like that. I don't do that anymore. It's a lot of work in processing. I
So,
don't
be,
have time. At
so,
bottom line, that's what's the case.
so behind me is Sausalito. I don't know if you've been there, and I took this photo. Is it a good photo?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this
Is
is
it, it's
Sausalito, Marin County. Yeah,
nice. I like that place. I
yeah,
like the
it's a
place.
beautiful place. Yeah, Tariq, you should go there. It's just 5 minutes
Do you
from.
guys live in SF,
No,
or do you live in the
I live in
project?
Sunnyvale right now. Tariq
Sunny.
is in San Francisco right now.
Yeah, right now for Project I'm here.
Yeah. Uh,
I
I think
think just
that you
going back
also
to
like.
good.
Sorry, ഞാൻ താരത്തിനോട് ചോദിക്കുമായിരുന്നു. You also like photography, right? That's why you are asking that question. I remember
Yeah,
you.
definitely.
Yes.
But the recent advance in mobile photography has taken me away from DSLR. അപ്പൊ
DSLR.
അത്രയും വലിയ പുട്ടുപറ്റി എടുത്തൊന്നും നടക്കാനുള്ള ക്ഷമ ഉണ്ടാവാറില്ല, ഫോണിൽ ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്യലാണ് കൂടുതലും.
Yes, me too.
I can relate. Yeah.
Mm.
so
So Nyan, I used to. There's a academy known as Aperture Academy. Um, yeah, but Nyan, I used to go out with them a lot. So they what they do is they know the good spots. They'll take you. Then yeah, and recently, last January, I went out with that group. There was only four people. Um, the instructor snow കൂടി ആണെങ്കിലും, right? It was freezing. It was around early 30s, Yosemite level, right? Even the snow runner, they know the right place and the right time to be there. So that helps a lot.
Right place and right time of the day.
Yes.
Have you seen the fire fall by any chance, Yosemite?
I've been there, but ഞാൻ കണ്ടിട്ടില്ല.
Okay.
I've taken the picture, but not. It's very crowded.
Right. Oh, so you've been during that time, okay.
I think this time it happened end of early Feb. I'm not sure. I think it's early Feb,
Yeah.
but I've missed it. I've been mid-Jan.
Okay.
Like, looking back, maybe to your college, as we're wrapping up, looking back to your college days, like it has been long, but like what are the things like top of the mind you recall or miss still about college?
ചിന്ന മര്യാദയ്ക്ക് പഠിച്ചിട്ട് വളരെ വിചാരിക്കുന്നത്.
അത് നമുക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും കോമൺ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഫീലിംഗ് അല്ലേ?
Yeah. 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 There's a lot of fundamentals, and I wish the way American universities ഒരു കാര്യം പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്ന, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഓൺലൈൻ ഒരു കാര്യം പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്നതിന്, there's a huge difference in compared to what we went through, right? Yeah. If they were, they probably were, but probably did not explore much. But ഒരു കാര്യങ്ങൾ പഠിക്കാനായിട്ട്, if we had referred to online resources more and these recordings of Stanford courses and things like that in YouTube, things would have been better understood and would have more passion to learn. But
yeah, at least maybe
very
through
sure, to be frank, right, the whole focus was passing the exam, and that was the attitude, not really learning. And if I think back, the real learning to me happened after passing the college. Of course, the books like Tannenbaum and all, they're amazing books, but Silber Shares, right, for the operating system. Those were good ones. But I think I could have done more. That's the only regret.
But fortunately, I think a lot of stuff has happened with Kerala Technical University now, because even questions, like some of the questions were leaked for the first exams, and they were actual like practical oriented questions, not theory based questions, like how actually you put application to your theory. So the focus is slightly shifting, and let's hope it goes in the right direction.
I think what we learned is endurance, right? Like 56 papers, pass. I think maybe that's why the Indian education, like discussion, and why we have a lot of Indian CEOs. Like India has
ഇത്രയും കുറച്ച് ക്ലാസ്സിൽ പോയി അത്രയധികം പേപ്പേഴ്സ് എഴുതി പാസ്സാവുക.
So since you have graduated in 2004, and like it's been a long year, so how much do you think the college has changed from that time to this time?
College but yeah, I think the technology has definitely changed and changed a lot, especially with Web3 and metaverse technologies and the kind of change that internet brought forth in the early 2000s. I expect those changes to happen that drastically. So you could see a lot of Google executives and fan company employees moving to
India.
Startups focusing on Web3. So if you were to start new, that's one place I would start with. That's very promising.
So just accelerated. Sorry, guys.
Actually, the question, but you said a good point, but then I was like asking how much the college, the SCT college, it has changed from that time, that era to this time.
I'm not sure I can answer this because I don't know what has changed, what has happened since 2004.
Yeah, maybe one follow-up to that would be like, are you actively involved in any of your alumni networks and or like general networking will no. Okay. Yeah, because
there is a group with my batchmates. That's pretty much it. Another in college touch. I mean, I used to meet with professors when I used to go back, maybe once or twice. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think there are opportunities for like mentorship where alumni come and they give like a talk and all. So
No, I've not been involved with those.
Yeah.
I think what you're doing is good. You probably need a forum where students who are just passing out can reach out to say,
Right.
hey, should they focus on things like that?
Right.
Give me 1 second.
I think his kid just walked in, so he's
Yeah,
just managing.
yes.
No worries.
I think he's using his Webex camera because it's very clear.
It's a very clear and a very different angle, not the normal webcam angle.
No.
Yeah,
I think Cisco is owning Webex.
അല്ല ആണോ
Do that.
Webex?
This is Canon. When I don't use my camera, I use it for video conference.
Oh, this is your camera. ഭയങ്കര ക്വാളിറ്റി കേട്ടോ, ഞാൻ പറയണത് വിചാരിച്ചിരിക്കുകയായിരുന്നു.
It looks very professional.
Very professional, yeah. Like ഞാൻ okay, the question I was going to ask was like ഇവിടെ ഇപ്പം ബേ ഏരിയയിൽ CET and MECയിലെ alumni they are very strong. Like ബേ ഏരിയ മാത്രമല്ല US-ൽ. So we don't have that kind of network for SCT. So we are hoping like ഈ ഒരു initiative we can actually bring people together and like for one question I want to ask was like, do you have any suggestions for how we could build up this platform and how we could രണ്ട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ, how to build up the platform and how to engage with alumni, because the way we think is completely different from how someone that passed out in 2004 thinks. So
Yeah, to answer your question, like my wife passed from model.
okay.
They used to have at least annual meetups. There a particular batch used to host,
Mhm.
and the entire family would come over and they used to mingle together. I think that kind of activity will help if there is a genuine interest.
Mhm.
Um, if there's less than 10 people, I'm not sure if people would come in.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
think
recently with this initiative, what we've realized is we have a lot of alumni in the US. It's just we need to find a way to connect with them
yeah.
Right.
across old and new batches.
Right. At least എനിക്ക് മൂന്നാല് പേര് പേര് തന്നെ ഉണ്ട് എനിക്കറിയാം.
Yes.
ഞങ്ങളുടെ
Nice.
Sujith, I don't know if you know Subin Pulat, football, ബേ മലയാളിയിൽ ഫുട്ബോളൊക്കെ കളിക്കാൻ വരുമായിരുന്നു. So he said he'll introduce me to someone from 99 batch, അതായത് ഫസ്റ്റ് SCTയിലെ ആദ്യത്തെ ഫസ്റ്റ് batch. Yeah, she's in Texas.
I know who's that. Yes.
91 pass out. 95 to 99.
95, so 99 pass out. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you okay? Yeah, so അവരെയൊക്കെ കണക്ട് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ that'll be a great thing.
So
Yeah.
this this automobile mechanical started in 2005. Is it because
2009. So 2000 auto is there. When I joined, it was there.
Okay.
okay? So like I know someone who is from that batch as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
So his name is Suresh. Yeah, he's currently in the US.
Yeah, let's bring him on. Like മെക്കാനിക്കൽ ആൾക്കാരുടെ ഭയങ്കര ഒരു ക്ഷാമമാണ് ശരിക്കും.
ഉള്ളവരൊക്കെ വേറെ പണിക്കും പോയി.
അത്
യുഎസിലെ മെക്കാനിക്കൽ ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റീസ് കുറവാണല്ലോ.
Yeah.
It's more IT.
Yeah, even for IT, like I think അവർ 2000s തൊട്ടാണ് ഭയങ്കര ഒരു ബൂം തുടങ്ങിയത്. Like I think like the H1B lottery would never get filled before 2010, I think. 2000.
I think the Y2K boom, right? അതിൽ ഒരുപാട്
Yeah.
യുഎസിലേക്ക് വന്നു.
Yeah. ഇനി അത് കാരണം നമുക്ക് ഗ്രീൻ കാർഡ് കിട്ടുന്നില്ല, ബട്ട് ദാറ്റ്സ് ഓക്കെ.
പുതിയ ബില്ല് ഇരിപ്പുണ്ട് കൺസിഡറേഷൻ.
അതൊന്നും പാസ്സാകത്തില്ല.
It'll happen. It will take its own time, but it'll happen.
Yeah.
Eventually. Let's hope.
എനിക്ക് തന്നെ ഇപ്പൊ അടുത്ത കാലത്ത് കിട്ടി. So
Okay, that's nice.
നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുമില്ല എന്നുള്ള ചോദ്യം മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ.
Actually, like when you talked about കോളേജിന്റെ കാര്യം and how it's different, ഇപ്പം മാസ്റ്റേഴ്സ് ഉള്ള ഒരാൾക്ക് do you think it's easier to navigate the US or അങ്ങനെയൊന്നുമില്ല? You learn.
Definitely. Yeah, I would recommend, right? Anyone who's coming out to take master, it doesn't need to be, top tier university. You still, but for example, San State University, right? ഇവിടെ പഠിച്ചവർക്ക്, the kind of courses I've seen, right? My wife passed out of SJS here.
Mhm.
The kind of courses and the materials that they work on back in, this is probably 6 years, 7 years back. It's amazing. That's what that matters, right? They were all part-time professors. Like they used to work in the industry and then they teach, right? So the professors there, the assignment they give is amazing. So it really prepares you to do good in interviews as well as to do good in your job. So I would highly encourage anyone who's coming new to do their masters no matter what.
Right. Okay, we do last question because you are in the Bay Area. How has Bay Area changed from when you first came here to 2022?
Traffic would for sure. Yeah. Even for example, right, I volunteer a lot of my time at the Sierra Malabar Church in Milpitas, St. Thomas Sierra Malabar Church. The influx of people and families who come in over these years is humongous. So it's good to see a lot of Malayalis coming over to US in the Bay Area specifically. So that's been a huge change, and I hope it will continue.
Right. Yeah.
പിന്നെ എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു കോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ലിവിംഗ് ആയിരിക്കും വന്നിട്ടുള്ള ഏറ്റവും വലിയ ഡിഫറൻസ്. For the newer people who come in, who has been here, I don't think will feel the difference.
Yeah. When I moved from Seattle to here, yes, it was a big difference. But across these years, even the rent, recession happened, the rent is. So I think that's one piece that I was happy about.
Good things about recession.
Yeah, 2-bedroom, and at that time, I don't know, it was costing around, I don't remember really, around close to 3,000. It came down probably around 1.8K just during the recession.
For a 2-bedroom or a 1-bedroom?
2 BHK.
2 BHK.
And we are talking about 2008, right?
Yeah, I mean talking about 2008, 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
Seattle.
Now it would be like probably 2-bedroom would be 4K, 4.5K.
Yeah, now like an apartment is like 3K, 3.5K for a relatively okay apartment.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I think let's wrap up. Sujith, if you can stay back, could it end the minute? We'll stop the streaming, and then I just want to get your feedback. And I know in date, yeah.
And
Okay.
by the way, good.
Thanks a lot for this time.
Yeah, thank you so much. Actually, yeah.
Thank you.
It's really
Sure,
helpful.
and thanks to you guys. You guys are doing a wonderful job. Thanks for this initiative.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, and let me just stop.